Welcome to your practice. Today we're doing an advanced Vinyasa flow class. We don't need any props, but if you have blocks or strap, then have it nearby because it could come in handy. But we're going to get started in a seated position. Any seat that's comfortable for you as we do a little bit of breath work to start, a little bit of grounding. Let your hands rest somewhere comfortable. Lengthen your spine, the crown of the head to the sky. Soften the tips of your shoulders. Soften your eyebrows, your jaw. And as you inhale, let your belly get really big. And exhale. Continue breathing here, in and out of the nose. And right away you can invite in Ujjayi breath if you'd like. This Ujjayi breath with the ocean-like sound on the exhale helps us kind of gather our focus, and it also helps us deepen the breath. Every time we exhale, the breath is a little longer, a little deeper, a little slower. The theme for today is letting go of judgment, something that's been on my mind lately. So for a couple breaths, just kind of invite in a mantra of inhaling love and exhaling judgment, or inhaling acceptance, exhaling judgment. Just in your mind, mentally, or you can verbally chant with the inhales and the exhales. Just with every exhale, letting go of judgment about ourselves, judgment about others. And judgment holds us back, keeps us stuck. And so we just recognize where we're judging and we let it go. Inviting in love. Make the breath deeper and longer. Still with the mantra. Hopefully feeling a little lighter on every exhale, a little softer. One more breath. And you can maintain Ujjayi breath as you blink the eyes open. And if you're not already cross-legged, perhaps you come there. We're going to do some cross-legged cat-cow circles. Okay, so we're going to start by going to the left, then go forward into cow, then to the right, and back into cat. Okay, so we'll take 5 circles in each direction, nice and slow. We're smoothing out the circles, and it's with the breath. We have 2 more. You can always close your eyes as well. And the next time you go to the left, you're going to pause there and switch directions. Back into cat, over to the right, and go forward. When you do cat pose, you're really tucking your chin, so you're revolving the neck. One more circle this way. And we'll eventually come to center. And we'll take the arms up and reach them really, really high, letting those shoulders go up by the ears. Then bring your hands together, interlace the hands, and keep the index fingers and thumbs pointed. This is called Kali Mudra. And then take a side bend to the right. So we're going up and over, rooting down through the left seat, left hip. Go up and over a little more. And breathe into the rib cage. Then rise back up, inhale. Exhale, side bend to the left. One more deep breath. Then we rise back up to center. Release your hands. Now, Whatever leg is in front on the cross, bring it forward a little bit more so your legs are not crossed on top of each other. So you have more space there. And then walk your hands forward and put your forearms or hands on the ground and drop your head down. So whatever leg is in front, you're going to feel that on hip stretch a little more. And just let your head drop down. Let the back of the neck stretch. And slowly rise back up. Bring the hands behind you or use no hands as you switch legs. Other leg is in front, shins are next to each other, and then walk your hands out and drop your head down. Walk the hands back up and make your way into table. And then child's pose, knees wide, arms straight out in front of you. Crawl those fingertips forward. And just let your forehead rest on the ground. And take 3 deep breaths here. Walk your hands back up. Come into tabletop. And extend your right leg back behind you. Lift it off the ground so it's a one-legged table. And then lift your left arm and you're in bird dog. Get really, really long here. Bend your right knee. Reach your left hand around and grab onto your right foot. And kick up. Then re-extend your right leg and your left arm. Keep your right leg lifted. Set your left hand down. Step your right foot outside of your right hand. And then slide your back leg back. And keep your back knee down. And so we're in lizard. Just rock a little side to side here. And then rise up onto your fingertips and straighten your right leg. Flex the foot. And then bend to go back into lizard. Do that a couple more times, back and forth there. So kind of using this dynamic movement to warm us up. You can play around with the angle of the spine, with keeping it nice and long, or maybe rounding it at times. If you round the spine when you're in your half splits, you might feel something new. Okay, one more time. Come to lizard. Now slide your right foot between your hands. Now, bring the left foot over to the right like a kickstand. Put your right hand inside of your right foot. Shift your weight forward a bit and then take your left arm up and move it over your ear. So think of this as side angle, but on your knees. So your right knee is pushing forward as the whole angle of your body goes forward towards the front of the mat. Then rotate your chest open. Let that right knee track out to the right a little bit as well, so you can open the inner right thigh. Now we're going to keep the legs how they are. Rise on up with the arms wide. Then plant the left hand down at the back of the mat and come into a modified half moon. So you're lifting your right leg up and flexing the foot. Keep that right leg lifted. See if you can knit your ribs in ever so slightly. Really feeling the right glute working. Then bring your right foot to the ground and lift your left knee off of the ground. So it's a side plank with your bottom knee lifted. Pressing into the outer edge of your right foot, holding yourself steady for 3, 2, on 1, come into a one-legged plank. So put your right hand down, keep your left knee lifted. Now extend your left leg straight back. Then we'll go into a wild thing. So roll on the outer edge of the right foot, slowly step your left toes behind you and lift your hips up to the sky. Okay, now we're gonna go back into a one-legged plank. So you're gonna put your left hand back down, and don't worry, we're gonna come back to wild thing. Keep that left leg lifted. Now slowly go back into wild thing, but can you slow it down even more? Really, really take your time setting the toes behind you. And again, come into a one-legged plank, and then come into wild thing slow, even slower. So I'm hovering my left foot and then setting it down. Chest faces the sky. Chest opens even more. And then sit all the way down facing the original front of the mat. And reach for your right foot with both hands. And fold as much as you can. Lengthen and fold over your right knee. So in this particular pose, the spine is probably pretty rounded. Just allow that to be that way. Getting a good stretch through the back line of the body. Slow down your breath. We're going to make our way into supported warrior 3. Now look forward. Maybe use no hands as you shift your weight forward onto your feet. You can use your hands if you need to. And then fingertips on the ground, lift your left leg up. So yes, we're on the left side of the mat a little bit. Anchor your hips, even get your right hip back a little more, your left hip down a bit more so you're squaring them off. Reach the crown of the head forward. If you want to bring your hands to your heart and balance a bit, you can. Bring your fingertips back to the ground. Set your left foot over to the right side of the mat so you're in a crisscross position. And then fold over the center of the mat. Try to get your whole right foot planted firmly on the ground. Your left heel is lifted off the ground. And then you can play around with angles and different variations in order to feel your best in this position. For me, it's just about an outer right leg stretch. The calf muscles, the outer leg, the hamstrings. Letting go of judgment still here. Good. Now we're going to sit all the way down with the legs on top of each other. So bend your knees, sit all the way down. We're going into Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. Right fingertips behind you, hook the left elbow and twist. With every inhale getting a little longer, every exhale twisting a little more. Let it feel good. Just full acceptance and awareness of this moment. This pose, this shape, this breath. We'll come back to center and pigeon on the left side. So you're going to swing your right leg around, set up for pigeon. And we'll just be here briefly because I know it's still kind of early in practice. We're going to sit tall in pigeon, set up, slide your back leg back. And then if you want to come down onto the forearms, you can. Good, then we'll rise back up. Option to bend your right knee and grab onto the foot for a little quad stretch. maybe putting the foot inside of the elbow, maybe adding the left arm. Just do what feels good for you. Don't push yourself to somewhere where it's uncomfortable. And then we'll release down. Okay, we're gonna step back into tabletop. So set the right knee down, step the left knee back into table. Shake out your hips. Let's do some cat-cows before we move to the other side. Good. Okay, we'll extend the left leg straight back behind us. Sometimes I get worried that the thing's not recording and then I have to check, but we're good, we're recording, guys. All right, take the right arm forward, get long. Bend the left knee. Reach the right hand around, grab a hold of the foot, and kick up. Tiger pose. Can you even out your breath in this moment? Good, now re-extend everything back out. Set your right hand down. Step your left foot outside of your left hand. Lizard. And take a moment to rock a little side to side. And then come up onto the fingertips. And we'll go back and forth between half splits and lizard. Perhaps playing around with rounding into cat when you go into your half splits. One more time. Okay, so back into lizard. Slide your foot between your hands. Move your right foot over to the left. Come into your modified side angle or knee down side angle. So let your hips shift forward. Make any little adjustments that you need. I like to line up the knee and the heel in this pose. Rotate open and reach your right arm so that your right side body gets longer. Okay, then rise all the way up. Set your right hand down at the back of the mat and lift your left leg up. Okay, now put your left foot on the ground. Lift your right knee up for a variation on side plank. Lift your hips a little higher. Set your left hand down, keep your right knee lifted. Extend your right leg back. Make your way into Wild Thing. Back into one-legged plank. So really slow. The slower the better. Okay, slowing it down even more into Wild Thing. Back into one-legged plank. Almost done with this. I know it's not super fun. Roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. Hover your right toes and set them down for a Wild Thing. Open your chest. And then sit all the way down, facing the back of the mat, or the front of the mat, and reach for your left foot. For Sage Pose, Vinyasa. Slow down the breath. Now look forward and start to make your way into supported warrior 3. Level out the hips. Draw the belly button up. Crown of the head forward. Perhaps a balance, if you'd like. Set the fingertips back down. Bring the right foot over, cross it over to the left, and fold. Crisscross fold or ostrich pose. Let's make our way into Ardha Matsyendrasana. Sit all the way down. Hook the right elbow. Two more breaths. Okay, face forward. Pigeon pose on the right side, so the left leg will swing around. And then maybe put your forearms down. Rise on up. Option to bend your back knee and grab onto the foot. If you want to add the right arm, you can. Slowly release. Step into table. 2 rounds of cat-cows. Back into table, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Good, shift into plank, inhale, exhale back to down dog. Inhale, plank, exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank, stay here. Chaturanga, hold, back up to plank, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank, chaturanga, plank, down dog. Inhale, plank, chaturanga, plank, down dog. This next time we're gonna go into up dog. Inhale, plank, chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Hold. Downward facing dog. Walk or hop to the front of the mat. Halfway lift and fold forward. Inhale, stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Arms down by your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or hop to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step or hop forward. Halfway lift. Fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Arms down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or hop back. Upward facing or cobra. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Once more, let's go through that. Step or hop forward. Halfway, fold. Stand and reach. Hands to heart. Arms down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Lift your right leg up. Bend your knee, open your hip. Straighten the right leg back out. Step your foot outside of your right hand. Side angle pose with wide legs here. So your right foot's on the right side of the mat, left foot's in the middle, and you go into a nice deep side angle. Pause there in side angle to enjoy and breathe as I put my blind down. It's a little sunny over here for me. Okay. Now, we're going to put the left hand down next to the right hand, and we're going to pivot and crawl the hands to the back of the mat into half moon. So all the way to the back of the mat, left toes pointing to the back of the mat now, half moon pose. Option to bend your right knee and grab onto your foot for Chapasana. Part of an advanced practice is knowing where you want to go, not just always taking every option, but knowing where your limits are. What feels good for you today? If you have your foot, release it back to half moon. Bring your hands down to the ground and rotate into standing splits. Square those hips off more. Good. Step your right foot all the way back to low lunge. Plant down through your right hand. With your left peace fingers, grab onto your left big toe. Vashisthasana variation, or any other variation of side plank you want to do. If you have your big toe, you're going to release the foot and step into Wild Thing. Again, chest is facing up, so it's kind of a back bend. Then sit all the way down, facing the front of the mat, just like we did before. This time, option for a bind. Wrap your left arm around, and then your right arm around and fold. Or you can grab onto your foot again. Just 3 breaths. If you have your bind, unbind. We're going to go into supported warrior 3 again. Shift forward, hands on the ground. Then lift your right arm up for revolved half moon. Again, here you have the option of taking the foot for a Chapasana variation. And then release the foot if you have it. Keep this twist. Set your left toes over on the right side of the mat. So same kind of twisted fold we did, but now your right arm is lifted and you're turning open to the right. A little more balance involved here. If you want to challenge your balance more, you can look up towards your right hand. Good, then set your right hand down, sit all the way down into Martyasana, or Ardha Matsyendrasana again, so your twist. Then you're going to grab onto the outer edge of your right foot, extend it forward, extend your right arm back. Okay, then we're going to wrap the right arm around the right knee and the left arm around the right foot. So you're going into rock the baby. So I want you to turn a little bit facing the right. Rock the baby. Then we're going to go into compass pose if you're feeling it. So we're going to grab onto the top of the foot with the left hand and then hook the right knee over the right shoulder and perhaps start to straighten the right leg. Just go really slow and really attentive to your body here. And then slowly release the leg, but keep it hooked over your right elbow so that you can go into 8 angle arm balance. Hook your left foot over your right foot, plant your hands, shift forward, legs come out to the side. And then slowly sit back down. Grab onto the foot so you're coming out of it the way you came into it. Yes. And then cross the right ankle or the right knee back over the left knee, facing the front of the mat again. So just kind of shift. So you're setting up for Gomukhasana. Okay, then take your arms out wide. Reach the right arm up. Right hand comes to the back of the head, the back of the neck. Left arm rotates and grabs onto the hand. Option to fold forward a bit. And then rise back up. Unwind the arms. Make sure you have space behind you on your mat. You're going to keep your legs crossed and slowly roll on to your back. Grab onto the outer edges of the feet so that you're doing Supta Gomukhasana. Gomukhasana on your back. Pull the feet apart from each other. Tilt your pelvis forward. Such a nice deep stretch. And then we're going to release the hands, unwind the legs, and take the legs straight out. So we're in a low boat, straight out, palms facing up. Then can you reach your arms overhead? And then lift yourself up into a high boat, straighten the legs, and then come to low boat with arms overhead. High boat, low boat, and high boat, Navasana. We're going to cross the legs and hop back to Chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Okay, take a breath in and a breath out. We're in it now. Take the left leg up, bend the knee, open up your hip. And breathe. Ujjayi breath. Straighten the left leg back out. Step your left foot outside of your left hand and come into side angle. Firm up your back thigh a little more for one more breath. And then bring your right hand to the ground. Crawl to the back of the mat. Maybe use no hands as you go into half moon. Option to bend the knee, grab onto the foot. If you have the foot, release. Bring your hands to the ground and rotate your hips into neutral, standing splits. Slowly step to low lunge. Plant the left hand. Peace fingers onto the right big toe. Come into Vashisthasana. Make your way into a wild thing. Sit all the way down. Either reach for your foot or take that bind and fold. Slowly rise up, unbind your arms. We're going to go forward into supported warrior 3. Then lift your left arm up. Revolved half moon. Option to bend the knee, grab onto the foot. If you have the foot, release it. Keep your left arm up, step your right foot to the left. For more of a balance challenge, look up towards your left hand. Try to get your hips to face the front of the mat. And then put both hands down to the ground. Sit all the way down for your twist. But instead of hooking the elbow, grab onto the outer edge of the foot, extend it forward, reach the left arm back, and get really tall and long. And then rock the baby. So once you grab your leg for rock the baby, open up a little bit to the left. And then rock. And then we'll make our way to compass pose. Try not to fall like I almost just did. And just notice if one side feels easier than the other. Just observing. Finding the breath. Again, letting go of judgment. Maybe it's judgment towards yourself, towards this experience, towards me. Letting go. It's a good practice. And then we'll make our way into our 8-angle arm balance. Cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Shift forward. Balance as best you can. It's okay, doesn't matter what it looks like. And we'll sit back down, come back into where we started. Cross the left knee over to the right knee, facing the front of the mat again. So shift. Make those adjustments. Take the arms up. Left hand comes to the back of the neck. Right arm goes out, internally rotates, and then you clasp. You could stay tall. This might feel really good. You might go forward a bit. And then slowly rise up. Unwind the arms. We're going to go all the way back for Supta Gomukhasana. Keep your legs crossed. Lay back, grab onto your feet, pull the feet apart, tilt your pelvis forward. You'll feel more sensation if you do that. Then we're going to uncross the legs. Take the arms all the way back, legs straight forward and feet together. And then lift up, high boat. Get tall. Lower down, low boat. High boat. And low boat. Once more. High boat. Cross the ankles, plant the hands, hop back. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog, or however you'd like to get there. Breath in and breath out. Set your forearms down on the ground. Walk your feet in for dolphin. Option to lift your right leg up. Maybe you want to practice an arm balance here, or maybe not today. And you might switch your legs so the other leg is up, or you're working on your balance. And then we'll go back into dolphin. Walk the feet into a forearm plank. Hold. Lower the hips down to the ground. Take your arms all the way down. Put your chin or forehead down for a moment. And then we're going to bend the knees, grab onto the feet, and lift up for bow, or you can do locust instead. Kick your feet into your hands. For 3, 2, on 1, lower down. Use your hands as a pillow, windshield wiper your legs side to side. Good, then we're going to plant the hands down, right under the elbows, tuck the toes, slowly press up to plank. Downward facing dog. Okay, then we'll make our way into a seat, however you'd like to get there. You can hop, you can step, and then come all the way into your back. Bend the knees, feet flat on the ground. Bridge or wheel. Take your pick and press on up. For 3, 2, on 1, slowly lower down. Feet wide. Let your arms come overhead. Grab onto your elbows if you'd like. And windshield wiper your legs side to side. Good. We'll bring the knees in towards the chest. And we're going to rock ourselves up to a seat. We'll come on up. And we'll take the legs wide. And sit tall. And bring your right hand over to the right, left arm up and over for a side bend. Breathe deep into the belly. Rise back up. Switch sides. And then rise back up and walk your hands forward as far as you'd like to go. Roll the inner thighs out. Flex your feet. Then walk your hands back up. Bring your legs together at the front of the mat. And we're going to go back down to the ground. Arms out in front of you. Slowly lower down. Keep the feet on the earth. And then hug the knees into your chest. Rock a bit side to side. And we're going to finish with some twists. So keep the right knee in. And bring the knee over to the left. And extend the left leg. And bring the right knee over to the left. Open the right arm to the right. And then bring the knee back up. And we'll switch legs. Left knee comes in. Bring it over to the right. Left arm opens to the left. Breathe the length of the spine. We've done lots of side bending and twisting and back bending and forward bending today. So all of the ways that we can move the spine so that it's healthy and buoyant and alive. And when we open ourselves up, we can let go of judgment. Bring the knee back into the chest. Both knees in. Rock again a little side to side. It's said that judgment or comparison is the killer of joy, the thief of joy. But it's natural to judge. We just have to work on doing it a little less. and less, so we can free ourselves. Release your legs down for Shavasana. Get comfortable. Slow the breath. Soften the muscles of the face. Soften the whole body. The whole body. I am love. Begin to bring awareness and movement back into the body and into the breath. Circle your ankles and wrists. And then stretch the arms overhead. Take a full body stretch. Bend your knees, roll to one side. And press up to a seat. Bring your hands together at your heart. And let's bow in gratitude for this practice. Thanks for joining me. I hope you loved it. Hope to hear from you in the comments. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already so that we can continue practicing yoga together and moving together. And I'll see you next time.